Hello, and welcome to another edition of Art of Arlo Moon. On this edition, I'll be working on this Jim Morrison mixed media piece. I often say painting, but it's technically mixed media. Which just, to me, people want to argue what that means, or I don't know, anybody sits there and argues that, but whatever. But basically, there's arguments about what that. Well, what does that mean? Basically, the mixture. To me, it's the mixture of different stuff together. But it's not all purely painting. And if you watched any of the videos I've done before, I've explained it a bunch of times in different videos. Kind of what I do. Generally speaking, it's the my staple process, and it's just mixing things together. So I did a drawing here of Jim Morrison from an image, and it's kind of hard to see on this. I don't know why it's so hard to see, but it's a drawing, and then I photocopied the drawing to make it look like ink, because I used to do drawings, and then how do you do the drawings into a process to a piece? How do you put it in behind glass, or people do different things to make it work. Usually it's in a frame or behind glass or whatever, because it's a pencil drawing. In these cases, I would often photocopy it, mainly because it was in a book. So how do I take that? I know I've already explained this a bunch of times. If you watch like 5 other videos, you probably heard me explain it. I kind of still using these sticker HUs. It's almost like an aura around the person, and I have to make my own eventually here, do some sticker companies, because I really like the way, just the way it comes off. But yeah, I got into the Doors. First time I heard the Doors, besides like some, break on through on the radio, I listened to a lot of things when I grew up. I was 10 in 82, so, I heard a lot of the 80s. That's why 80s stuff kind of drives me nuts in a way. I've heard them, over and over and over. I've heard it, and in the 80s it was interesting. I was, excited by the 80s. But since I am old now, I've already heard it so many times. It drives me nuts kind of nowadays. And we got into the mid-90s. I was sick to death of... I had a job where I would listen to radio all the time. And that was a fortunate situation. But I was sick to death of the songs that were coming out in like about 96, 97. It was just like the same old stuff. Every single song was like a throwback to some other band I'd already heard of or listened to. And I just was sick to death of it. So, I tried to listen to... I would give it a shot. I would just be really kind of... I was jaded by the stuff that was coming out. Rock-wise, I listened mainly rock. And then, like in the 80s, mid to late 80s, I basically high school, and became like a metalhead, and I listened to all kinds of metal stuff and underground punk and that kind of stuff, which was interesting because basically getting to high school and there's all these cliques, and I already like heavy stuff anyway, somewhat, but it was like, well, I want to be involved in some of these, one group or not, or something, because I'm here in high school, and it's just everybody kind of groups up to different groups. And what groups can you be in? Well, I had a lot of interest, a lot of friends in different groups. I knew like people in every single clique, group, or whatever you want to call it, just in general, people. But it seemed to really call to me in that sense, because basically all you had to do was grow your hair out. Wasn't like it was that difficult to join the metalhead group or whatever. I always kind of felt like an outsider anyway. I've been an outsider forever, and it's like... Now I often feel like outside the outsiders. And for a while, with being an artist, I thought, well, I finally met some artists, and, I'll be accepted there in the sense of, oh, okay, well, that's why I was an artist the whole time, or whatever. And then it turns out I was old, but so they're like, well, we'll put up with you. But it's funny how all that works. But yeah, anyway, so like about '90s, mid '90s. I mean, I'd heard the Doors and stuff. Mid '90s, I started getting sick to death of rock radio and regurgitation of stuff, and Nirvana had killed himself, and basically, I think after Nirvana, basically Foo Fighters were different, but so there were some other bands that did some different things that weren't like, almost like, they weren't like cookie cutter either, but it was almost like, oh, well, this kind of writing Nirvana did was kind of instrumentally, I know I used that word before, but it was an influence on the rest of the system, mainly because they were economically successful. You could write stuff that was basically depressing. You want to call it depressing. It's kind of just like, I got problems and I'm going to write some stuff about it. It's passive aggressive and drug laden, but I mean, there was a lot of music that was drug laden. But it's just it just turned out to be. After that, it was just like, well, industry-wise, we have to turn out all these bands, and I just felt kind of like, well, I'm just going to go backwards. I haven't experienced some of these bands from the 60s and 70s, and I started listening to a lot of the Doors, and I really loved the Doors, even though, Jim Morrison was dead. The group was, they weren't playing music anywhere or anything. They played a little bit here and there. Now, today, Robbie's dead, and, John Dinsmore, the drummer, is still alive, I believe. But even Ray Manzarek is dead now, and I don't know. It's just it doesn't really matter. I've got over a little bit on the Doors in the sense of not listening to them as much, but I used to listen for a long time. I listened to them a lot. I might have missed some stuff in the '90s, in the 2000s. It all seems kind of like faded or something. But anyway, I always liked the Doors since that point on. I had cut some of this up. You see it because I was doing some. I considered it deconstructive versions of the same pieces. Anyway, I better do some time lapse on this so it's not 100 million years. once again, I did a lot of stuff off the camera. Again, I was trying not to make this too long of a video. But basically, I painted it all in. You saw most of that, and then I started doing these like detail lines where it come down and kind of crisscross. And then I'm really into this recently. I've done it before. It's not like the only time I've ever done it, but kind of like more of a white detailing. I did the background at the top here. If I could tilt the camera, we could see it. More red and over the black. It's kind of like cracks in the sand or whatever design. I did over my symbol a couple times more. And just filled it in more. This time I actually painted in Jim Morrison instead of just leaving it black and white. It's a hit and miss. Sometimes it stands out more. The camera really soaks it up good. It looks really good in here. I don't know so much in real life. I mean, it's still good, but it really photographs well. Anyway, if you enjoy any of this video, please hit the like, and if you could subscribe, that would really make my life. I just got a subscriber today. It was awesome. So we're at 22. I'm trying to build it up, and if you like any of the video, obviously like it. Check out the rest of my videos and subscribe, man. If you could subscribe, that'd be awesome. Other than that, I think we're done for today, and we're gonna go on to another video, or that's it for the day. Go out and make some art today, won't you?